Welcome back to another episode of JailBreak Overlander. I'm Richie, and this is JailBreak. And if you follow the channel for any length of time, you know that I recently went from my tried and true 80 series Land Cruiser to a 5th gen 4runner platform. And in order to make this truck work for what I do, it needs to be modified, and modified heavily. And that's exactly what I've been doing. But one of the first modifications any overland vehicle is going to require is a new rack. And that's what I did. And for this particular build, I went with a rack that I was familiar with. Now, before anybody goes and drops down almost $2,000 for the FRONTRUNNER rack, you may want to sit back, you may want to relax, and you might want to check this out. So I have a tendency to modify everything that I own, and this new vehicle was not going to be any exception at all. And I got right on it. I mean, I started modifying this thing right away, but one of the first things I needed to do was to put a rack on it, because when I bought it, it came with the TRD Pro rack, which was utterly useless. Now, I've used a FRONTRUNNER Slimline before, and I actually made a video on how to install it. This was back in 2018, and I ran this on my 80 series for about maybe a year until I got a custom-made rack put on it, and that's the rack that stayed on it till the day I sold it. I was pretty impressed with FRONTRUNNER because everything was powder-coated, everything was labeled, the quality control people signed each individual pouch that everything came in. The nuts were trapped in there, so it worked out really well for you. And I don't recall having any issues with it on the 80 series at all. As a matter of fact, I used several FRONTRUNNER products and reviewed them. Like this drop-down camp table, which was really nice quality for the price that they charged you. It wasn't bad at all. Again, I didn't run it all too long. I ended up making my own. But, I mean, at the time, it was a good setup. I had no issues with it. So, it is what it is. Now, the FRONTRUNNER rack is one of the most expensive racks out of all the racks you can get for a 5th gen 4runner. And it also requires you to drill several holes, 4 in total, into the top of your 5th gen. And they're a little bit of a pain in the butt, but after you get the holes drilled, then you have to take a riv nut tool and set in some riv nut captured nuts. And if you go this route, make sure you silicone those nuts into your roof. Now, this isn't a how to install the rack video because there's plenty of those out there, and I've already done one on this particular rack. It went together pretty straightforward. The fit and finish was really good. I was pretty impressed with it. It was nice. FRONTRUNNER got it to me quickly, etc. With the tax and the shipping, it came out to almost $1,900. And it is what it is. Things are expensive, I get it. So I installed it, and then I took the truck for a drive. Okay, this is what a FRONTRUNNER Slimline 2 sounds like on a 5th gen 4runner. Hear that whistling? And it gets much, much louder. It's incredible the amount of work I had to do to get this thing on this particular truck, including drilling holes. And it whistles so loud you can hear it over the radio. $1,500 for a roof rack, and it whistles like a freight train. It's awesome. Brand new 4runner TDR Pro. That sounded awesome. Now it sounds like an asshole mobile. Why did I get a FRONTRUNNER Slimline 2? I'm asking myself. Any rack would have supported my Expedition 3. Yeah, it whistles so loud it's unbelievable. Now, I've dealt with roof racks for almost a decade. I'm familiar with things whistling and such, but usually it's things that you add on, not the rack itself. And for the amount of money that FRONTRUNNER charges you for this rack, they should at least include these T-slot rubber beadings that are supposed to stop the whistling. You need about 8 of these. They're $12, $13 a piece. And in my particular case, the roof rack, the tent is already on top. So I have to remove it to install these, and that sucks. So know that going into this. Because with the extensive list of modifications that I've done and I still have to do, the last thing in the world I want to do is go back and remove the Expedition 3 to put these T-slot rubber things in to see if it works. So I'll keep you posted, but at this point, if you've got a 5th gen and you need a roof rack, I would look someplace else. Because for the amount of money that FRONTRUNNER charges, those T-slots shouldn't be an issue, and they are. That's all I got for right now. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment below, and I will return the favor. I am out.